President Biden caught himself with a few cheat sheets at yesterday's press conference, one of them with the names of officials in the order of their remarks.
Yeah, and another one was a detailed sheet showing a photo and pre-written questions from the first reporter he called on.
Now we're going to take some questions. The first question from Courtney of the Los Angeles Times.
Thank you, Mr. President. Your top economic priority has been to build up U.S. domestic manufacturing in competition with China. Are you damaging a key ally in the competition with China to help your domestic politics ahead of the election?
Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now. Joe, what's worse, the president needing the questions in advance or the journalist, that's in quotes, giving them to him?
It's just amazing, Todd, Ashley, that this president continues to be the most protected, the most homogenized, the most inaccessible president that we have seen in modern times. And yes, he did do a joint solo press conference yesterday. It wasn't solo, obviously. It was with the leader of South Korea. He has yet to do a solo press conference this entire year. It hasn't been since November since he's actually been up in that sort of situation for an extended period of time. And that's because his handlers are petrified that he can't do this very well for an extended period of time in terms of answering real questions as far as inflation is still 3 times as high as it was when you took office, sir. What do you plan to do about that, even though you already have signed the Inflation Reduction Act, which is inaptly named? We have a crime crisis in this country that we haven't seen since the 1990s. The border continues to be a catastrophe from a humanitarian perspective, from a national security perspective. What actions will you take in order to secure it a heck of a lot better than it is now? We're seeing test scores at a 30-year low, ACT test scores among America's students. There are 1,000 questions you could ask this president, but they're never going to be answered because he takes only a very, very select few questions from hand-picked reporters who will ask him the types of things that he probably can survive through. And that's where we are at this point. And it will go through the entire 2024 campaign where the basement strategy is alive and well, Ashley.
You know, and when we talk about President Biden, we also obviously have to talk about Kamala Harris because Axios is reporting that top White House officials are trying to more or less reboot her image. Even though 73% of Americans view Kamala Harris as unfavorable, how big of a job and how hard of a job is this going to be for them?
That's the thing. You can't put Humpty Dumpty back together. The toothpaste is already out of the tube in terms of the impression that the vice president has made, right? She is patently inauthentic in whenever she does any sort of public speaking. She is repeatedly awkward to listen to in those situations. And then when you look at job performance, her number one job was finding the root causes of mass illegal migration and fixing that crisis that is at the border. And she gets whatever's below an F- on that front. Most Democrats, Ashley, will privately tell you that they would happily replace her on the ticket tomorrow, but that would alienate some black and/or female voters if that occurred. The reason why Joe Biden is running now at this point, guys, is because I think the original plan was Biden runs in 2020, and if he wins, then he passes the baton on to his vice president. And boy, he looks like a hero because now we have our first female president and a woman of color in that regard. And now instead, after seeing the way she's performed, the way she has spoken in public events, the president is stuck with her, and we are stuck now with Joe Biden because there is no baton to pass to at this point, and that's where we are, and that's why Joe Biden is running again, because of the lack of an alternative, guys.
And we're stuck with Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm, who says she supports the Biden administration's efforts to implement an all-electric vehicle fleet, at least in the military, by 2030. Listen.
Do you support the military adopting that EV fleet by 2030?
I do, and I think we can get there as well. And I do think that reducing our reliance on the volatility of globally traded fossil fuels, where we know that global events such as the war in Ukraine can jack up prices for people back home, it does not contribute to energy security.
Okay, you just heard that. In light of the fact that clearly she wants to pay our #1 military and economic adversary in China in order to convert our fleet to all electric, again, helping our #1 adversary. Are we trying to surrender to China, Joe? Like, what's going on?
what is going on, right? Why do we continually bow down to China when they inflicted COVID on us? The COVID that came out of one of their labs is the overwhelming conclusion at this point. 1.1 million Americans having died as a result. Obviously, I mentioned the test scores before. That was a result of COVID, and obviously businesses that never recovered or were shut down altogether, yet we continue to kowtow to the CCP. I have one question for the Energy Secretary, Todd, Ashley. If the military goes full electric, where on a battlefield exactly will the charging stations be located?
Oh, my gosh,
I mean,
yeah.
Todd, you're the big toe on this show. Can you answer that? Because I can't.
I mean, think about that. We don't have enough charging stations in Wyoming, much less in the jungles that we fight in next. It is unconscionable, Joe. I don't understand what's going on, but Joe helped us make some sense of it, and that's why we love our Joe Concha. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Joe.
See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.